Hi guys, it's me, Lauren Electra, and I am just recording this on my phone. I am not filming myself, not because of what I'm gonna say, not because I'm scared. Can't give a shit, but because I put like blue tape. I've been like keeping blue tape over my camera lenses. Just because of tinfoil hat type stuff. Uh, just to make sure that I'm not being recorded or spied on when I'm not actually recording myself. Um, but I just like have been getting glimpses of the P Diddy situation, and it really is just putting me in such a terrible mood. That I wanted to say something about it. And I think what I have to say is important because of all the negative press and activity that the people in Hollywood seem to be just hell-bent on putting out, and as someone who wanted to be an actor when I was a little kid, somebody who used to pretend that they were on like David Letterman and that they would one day be like a famous Hollywood talent, either like a movie star or as a musical artist or whatever. And then, because of those dumb dreams, I went to college, and instead of getting a regular degree like in business or, something with real world value, I pursued my passion and studied theater and performing and dance, and I've been putting out music that I've been writing and composing myself, and I have all these scripts that I've written all by myself. And even though I'm so disillusioned by everything that Hollywood seems to actually represent, a la the corruption and protecting criminals and their involvement with propaganda and other shady government activity, I did just want to say, that there are people in the industry who, unlike P Diddy and whoever else is shady, like Bill Cosby and even Kobe Bryant and Harvey Weinstein and whoever else, that there are people out there who might be different like me, who might not be the typical heteronormative picture person, although newsflash, most people in Hollywood are either female impersonators, trans, or in some way part of the LGBT, whether they're just sluts who will fuck anybody for a role regardless of whether they're male or female, or if that's actually how they swing. I think it's very rare to find an actual straight heterosexual in the entertainment industry at all, unless you're like some psycho Christian person who also like doesn't eat shellfish on Sunday or things like that. But the point that I was going to make is that there are people in the theater and in Hollywood, hopefully, I hope that there are people, and this might just be me talking out of my ass, but that there are people in the entertainment industry who aren't garbage people, who aren't pieces of shits, who aren't criminals, and it is just my hope that by recording this stupid little video and putting it out into the world, into the universe, onto the internets, that it will remind people that we don't have to forgive and forget people who have a history of being abusive and problematic just because they mixed a song together that was catchy enough to get stuck in everybody's goldfish like ADHD on the spectrum brains, you know, just because you can like make a catchy song, or just because you can put together a trendy outfit, or just because you're a certain skin color, or have certain specific religious views, which are most likely like not even real. I mean, can't think of a single real Christian that would ever do the things that P Diddy was accused of and has been on camera doing, you know, assaulting Cassie. I don't think any true Christian would ever be violent towards another person. You know, if you're a real believer in God and Christianity and the word of Jesus and blah, 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 I don't think that there's any way that you would have the moral flexibility to like bully someone and assault someone, let alone you know, do all the other horrible things he allegedly did, like at his parties, and his involvement with multiple people being harassed and having like threats against their life, and then whatever shady shit he did just in the music industry in general to get his songs played on the radio. But the point is that like talent is not dependent on how badass you are or not. And P Diddy is not even a badass. Like, he's not even that cool if he's literally like crying in court and like begging and pleading with the jury and the judge and the prosecutors to like, you know, let him off easy and to not judge him so harshly and blah 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 blah. Like, how can you say you're a gangster and then like cry like a little baby, cry like a little girl, when you actually F-A-F-O, right? When you're actually F-A and F-O. So, yeah, this is just me putting it out there that, like, if through the corruption of the government, P. Diddy does not end up serving what he has been convicted, which, I mean, he was supposed to get, like, basically a life sentence, and I think now they said it got brought down to, like, 5 years, and it might even be reduced to less. We don't have to welcome him back into our homes, our airwaves on the radio. He hasn't contributed anything more to the music industry than any other artist who hasn't committed a crime has contributed to the world of music and movies and even fashion, because I know that he thinks he's some kind of fashion mogul just because he wears sunglasses and like fitted clothes. I mean, big freaking deal. If that was enough to make somebody a celebrity and make somebody like famous and popular, then like literally I don't know, like your school principal could be a celebrity then. Your like Spanish teacher who isn't even actually like Hispanic could be like a celebrity, you know. So yeah, P Diddy is a gross person, and I fully believe they are undeserving of any kind of second chance or comeback. And I'm very disappointed in the news media, like Fox News, especially, like surprisingly, they were seemingly all in support of P Diddy, which I just found to be really gross and surprising. And also not surprising considering, you know, the propaganda they put out. And I think they would rather have a redemption arc story just to, I don't even know what, like, legitimize or try to validate a clear repeat offender instead of just, you know, I guess taking accountability for the fact that everybody in the media probably knew what was going on, like all the shitty things he was doing. And by having P Diddy forgiven, I guess it kind of makes it can like be a way to like make people forget about everything instead of like further investigating other people's involvement and turning a blind eye to his activities and who was giving him the money for his activities in general, which would go right probably straight to the government. And, you know, all the losers in the 1% that are just like him, just as disgusting as he is. So yeah, with that said, I don't know, I hope this empowers the non-criminals in Hollywood. I hope this empowers you, the normal person at home who also has no criminal history and no desire to engage in criminal history or criminal activity, and that, you know, we can take control of the narrative and not just accept things as it is what it is, because that's not how democracy works, and that's not how this country was founded. This country was founded on blood, sweat, and tears, and a whole bunch of whoop ass. So, America.